Let me get first comments. Mr. Nambiar, over to you, and then Yamini, PKD.
No, I'm saying that, Barkha, this budget is more of like a vision document. It has touched upon almost every aspect of every life. The 7 points which you were mentioning, or we were talking about, this comprises more of like a 360-degree macro approach. Because we don't expect a national budget to be focusing on each and every micro aspect. And if somebody looks at that, as Mr. Sunil said, that there is a wish list of you and me and everyone, that we want more and more. That desire can never be achieved. But I would say, as a vision document, as a very progressive one, to taking our economy to the next level. For an example, to start with, the capital expenses is been 10 lakh crore. That directly will give almost every sector, whether it is the core sectors to from both the demand side and the supply side, there is going to be a huge jump, while giving the youth power, which we mentioned. She was talking about all these 7 points are interconnected, and all these points will also help us to improve upon one of the critical area, which is called as unemployment. I think broadly, I would say in my first statement that, before we go to the each and every aspect, this touch upon everybody. The Antyodaya, which the BJP has always been talking about, that touch up there with making it a point that the ration and some amount of populism you can always expect from the election year is going to come. So that is also there. But then fundamentally strong, not just the typical election budget which people have been talking about from the last 2 3 days, especially in the national media. That is not been. It's a very fundamentally strong budget, very progressive one, which is talking about a future India can take into the global power. I just wanted to give a quick rebuttal to what Madhav Narayan said. Populism is not whatever you have said, that whether it is the Mudra Yojana or the account, Jantan account, or the Swachh Bharat, or the toilets, 12 crore toilets have been created, or 45 crore accounts have been created. So they cannot be a popular. They are basically could have been done maybe say about 20, 30 years back in our country, which could maybe because so whatever reason it did not happen. So they are not popular. This government's one of the signature of this government is being that they walk the talk. Whatever they announce, they not only just go and do the stone laying, but they also implement it on a very, very structured and time bound manner. I think there is no populism. I could see it in this entire the budget. It is very, very fiscal prudent. They wanted to cut the fiscal deficit one by one with a proper target of 4.5% by 2015 and 25. So I think it's a very, very structured, touching upon each and every section of the society. There is a huge outlay for the tribal community, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, the youth, and including the direct transfer benefits to the people. Imagine that those times when we used to hear that when you send 1 rupee from here, only 10 paise reach to the last beneficiary. Here is something like 2 lakh crore of rupees have been directly transferred to each and every individual personal account, and that could not have been possible if you have not created a 45 crore new accounts. So I think populism in a general in election year is not that way. Just freebies and giving away anything and everything is generally called as a
Okay.
populism. In this budget, I could not see a single
I have
element
to
of
come in.
populism.
Okay.
No, I believe that this budget has got something not just from as Mr. Sunil was talking earlier, that it is basically for the next 9 months. No, there is a change. The change in the last 8 years of Modi government is that every budget is predominantly more of like a continuation or a progressive one after another. And in most of the budget in the earlier times, if you really recall, they used to be reading out the popular measures, like whether it is which train is going where, and what is the allocation, and etc. Now look at one by one. 2,40,000 crore, the amount for the railway, which is we never heard of. So that means there is a complete revamp of our overall logistics, whether it is road, 50 new airports, which we are not even talking about. And all these infra projects, including the road development, entire logistics, this will all going to create a large number of employment, direct and indirect. And secondly, formal and informal, both it is going to happen. Now, one of the key challenges the agricultural sector, which have been talking about, is that a farmer gets not even 10% of the money what you buy a tomato or any of the stuff, but you and me buy. They don't even get the 10%, and many of the times, because of the bad weather or not available of cold storages and etc., they lose out daily basis. And we wanted the farmers income to be doubled up, but then how do you increase that unless and until that kind of an infrastructure is not created? So look at the way from the last 3 4 budgets, and each and every budget you will find that the farm sector had been given an importance, not from the typically giving the money directly to those people, more than that, creating infrastructure, marketing facilities, cold storages, and most importantly, logistic approach which is provided to them, so that the material from deep south, from Kerala or a Tamil Nadu or from a Sikkim, reach to the main places in a seamless way. So I think this budget, that is the reason I said that it is touching upon every social sectors, and as a vision document, is because of that. It is not just a expenditure and the revenue versus expenditure, which is a typical budget. It has got much more to do with. It's not definitely. It is not a policy document under the Modi regime. Policies are created on a all through the 12 months. But I think this is something which we have been waiting for, and I'm very, very, very happy only because of one reason. Because everybody was talking about this is going to be a populistic budget. It's going to be just throwing money and making sure that it's more of like buying votes. That is going to be the theme of this budget. But this budget stayed on the fundamental economics in a progressive way to take to the
Okay.
country to the next level. Look at one more thing. We are becoming a fintech, for an example. Fintech and the AI and technology. The amount of importance this budget is giving it to that. It is not only
Okay.
just UPI has
Okay.
already become a,
Okay.
a,
Okay.
a,
So
a big
glowing accolades